There's a lot coming through. I hope that this actually goes somewhere because I just got out of meditation. And in meditation, I like there's a lot of light codes coming through. Okay. Or 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 or. Ooh, da, 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 da. Okay, so, and I don't really know what that means, but I know that I am trying to open myself up to it and allow it to come through me, or it's making my head hurt. And da 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 do 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 da 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 do 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 da ash ash do do do. Okay, so there is things are changing. And no one is coming to save you. But there is support, there is wisdom, there is knowledge of how you save yourself. So I had a very interesting conversation with someone yesterday. I was looking for a part for my dryer because my dryer keeps overheating. Again, they're saying, okay, they're bringing my attention to that because the energy right now is getting hotter. It is like we are shifting into the second half of the year. Today is the summer solstice on June the 20th. It is the longest day of light, and then the sun moves into Cancer tomorrow. Okay, so the summer solstice is an important portal where, it's like I keep hearing, I gave my only begotten son. I gave my only begotten son, right? And I think there was spirit. So, okay. So there's like importance in the cosmos. There's importance in nature. Even when I did the post yesterday and I was talking about breathing, they kept telling me, like, you referenced sitting in the grass or sitting under a tree, but you didn't tell them how important the elements are or how simple it is to connect to God's source spirit through like water or earth or air or fire. Like, you talked about breath, but you didn't talk about nature. You didn't talk about, the things that are of the essence of God. Okay? And so I am now telling you because they want you to know that. They do not want you to overcomplicate it. But yesterday I had a conversation with a man. I went into Home Depot to get the part. I think he looked the part up, but we were having such an interesting conversation. He had to be a 80-year-old white man, right? And he was telling me about how before, like when there was Mosaic or something about like Mosaic, and how things were more metaphysical. And when like an emperor came and was told, I'm not a factual person, so forgive me if this is like a real story that people know and I'm fucking it up. But he was just talking about how before the Bible was written, there was this. There was the sun, the stars, the moon. There was higher intelligence. There was being tapped into that, moving within that, the essence, the essence, the essence. And how our soul, because I was telling him, I'm like, sir, I'm more of an essence of a person. Like, I don't really speak in fact because things are always changing. And he was telling me, like, the Bible was written out of fact. The Bible was written, but there were certain words taken out of the like, to make it linear, to make you have to follow it and not your own inner compass or the bigger picture, and how intentional that was. And we know this, I know this, right? But he was so like geeked up that I was having this conversation and telling him who I was. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a little odd. And he's like, no, I think that you're like original. I think that, and he wasn't like hyping me up in any way, but we were just talking about people, places, things, and how he said that the way that he sees it is like things are always going one way, and then there's a hard shift to the other way. And he said that this has been going on since Ronald Reagan, this corporate political infrastructure for like the current times, and how it should be shifting. He was like, you can see it going downhill. And so on the other side of that is like a truth of the essence of who we are. And how he was like excited to be able to see some of that in his life. The conversation got so good and so deep that other people were standing around us like with their arms folded and guarded and feeling very uncomfortable. And then he hugged me. I didn't get the fucking part, but I was like, maybe God sent me here to talk to you. But the whole point of that is like we are the essence of something. Our physical body is temporary. Our soul and energy goes on forever. When I hear them tell me in meditation, like, oh, you're an Anuki, I don't know what that means, right? I don't know. When I was a kid, I would go to church and I would be able to speak in tongues, they would say. Oh, you're speaking in tongues. I don't know what that means. And as I've become a channel for source or energy, period, like I can channel like all kinds of things. Every day I feel like this gift gets so much stronger and effortless. Like just effortless. But there's a changing of the tides. And there is importance in like you grounding your energy. And there is importance in you understanding what is actually happening to the best of your ability. It's like I want to fix my dryer because I don't want to buy a new one. I understand that the heating element is out. Okay, so I've learned how to replace it. But I don't really understand the mechanics of the dryer and all the other things. So after that, I'm buying a new dryer. And I think it's like that. It's like some things and some topics are so big that it's like, okay, I know this part of it. I'll keep hearing I'm a Gemini. But, that's the other thing that they were saying. Okay, wait, let me finish. It's like you understand part of your cosmic alignment by your sun sign, but if I tell you where the North Node and the South Node were when you were born, you'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about, right? What does that even mean? What does the South Node mean? What does Pluto in my fourth house mean? What does, the moon in my first house mean? Like, what does that even mean? And I feel like the more that you even question it, the better, right? The more that you're like, I don't know, the better. I think that there is a lot of chaos that has come about, and people are like walking dead vessels. And I feel like it is important for us to keep humanity going, to keep people alive, to give people back their power. And I feel like that is post-biblical, right? I feel like this is like really hard times that require a different element. And so he's saying like, oh, the other thing? I was in meditation with the sun and the earth, and it's like the sun goes in a cycle. The sun does exactly what it's supposed to do every day. I don't care if it's cloudy. I don't care. The sun comes up as it's supposed to every day. Just like the earth is steady. It may break apart. It may shift in ways, but it is the earth. The earth doesn't need permission to, I'm having technical difficulties and I'm hearing it's Mercury retrograde. Okay. But the earth doesn't need permission to be that feminine energy and to absorb. It's going to do exactly as it's supposed to do. The same thing as the sun, and how there is source. You get source energy from the sun, but you ground it in the 3D earth plane in the earth, and they work together. If not, then you're just a spirit. You're just an essence. Like if the sun didn't have things to grow, and like if the sun just existed and there was no earth, then there wouldn't, like, it doesn't work, right? And so it's given this, it's reminding me about the duality and to take out the human personification around God. Okay, and then the last thing is about like the energy when it's moving through us. I feel like there are a lot of people that may be either feeling stuffy, so like because you have to move the energy through you. If your head is hurting, then you need to be breathing. You need to be filling your body with water, so much water, or hydration, not just water, but like you need to hydrate your physical body, and like burping or crying or that is a release of energy. That is energy coming up out of your body. But if your head is hurting, if your belly is tight, that is consuming and holding on to energy that you got to figure out how to release. And so they want you to know that if you're going through like any type of physical like resistance, to tap into why that is and to know that you're safe here. You are safe. Okay.